Gospel of March the 4th, 2015. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. As Jesus was going up to Jerusalem, he took the 12 disciples aside by themselves, and said to them on the way, "Behold, we are going up to Jerusalem, and the Son of Man will be handed over to the chief priests and the scribes, and they will condemn him to death, and hand him over to the Gentiles, to be mocked and scourged and crucified. And he will be raised on the third day." Then the mother of the sons of Zebedee approached Jesus with her sons, and did him homage, wishing to ask him for something. He said to her, "What do you wish?" She answered, "Command that these 2 sons of mine sit, one at your right and the other at your left in your kingdom." Jesus said in reply, "You do not know what you are asking. Can you drink the chalice that I am going to drink?" They said to him, "We can." He replied, "My chalice you will indeed drink, but the seat at my right and my left, this is not mine to give, but is for those for whom it has been prepared by my Father." Then when the 10 heard this, they became indignant at the 2 brothers. But Jesus summoned them and said, "You know that the rulers of the Gentiles lord it over them, and the great ones make their authority over them felt. But it shall not be so among you. Rather, whoever wishes to be great among you shall be your servant. Whoever wishes to be among you first shall be your slave. Just so the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve, and to give his life as a ransom for many." Gospel of the Lord. Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ. Again, taking from the first lecture of the prophet Jeremiah. The people of Judah said, "Come on, let us contrive a plot against Jeremiah. Let us destroy him by his own tongue. Let us carefully note his every word. Heed me, O Lord, and listen to what my adversaries say. Must good be repaid with evil, that they should dig a pit to take my life? Remember that I stood before you to speak in their behalf, to turn away your wrath from them." The prophet is called by God to serve God. He is to dedicate his life to God in the service of the people of God. Yet because the prophet is going to be like a whip that admonishes and warns, is not loved but rejected from the very people that he is trying to save. That is why he says, "Remember that I stood before you to speak in their behalf, to turn away your wrath from them." How many times Moses and Elijah and everyone did pray to God on behalf of the people. When we are called to the presence and to the service of God, we are also called in that way. We see that fulfilled beautifully in the person of Jesus. And that is exactly what we're seeing in the Gospel today. Once Jesus set up to Jerusalem, he took the 12 disciples, the 12 apostles apart, and warned them, "We are going up to Jerusalem. The Son of Man, that is the Son of God, will be handed over, and the chief priests and the scribes will condemn him to death, and then hand him over to the Gentiles, that is the Romans, to be mocked and scourged and crucified. And he will be raised on the third day." Yes, he will be raised on the third day, after his death, after he has suffered a great deal. After, not before. He is going to suffer the greatest of all pains, for your sake and mine. And we have this interruption, the eruption of the mother of the sons of Zebedee, along with her sons. all three of them were in agreement to ask the Lord for this nonsense. Command that these two sons of mine sit one at your right hand and the other at your left in your kingdom. The three of them devised a way. What they are actually asking is sort of, this is your prime minister, this is your second hand. They will control the entire kingdom after you. They all are full thinking of a human kingdom. They want to have the honor. And the Lord rebukes them. You don't know what you're asking. Will you be able to drink my chalice? The chalice is the passion, the suffering and death. And they answered, yes, we can, without even knowing what we were committing themselves to. The Lord reaffirms them. Yes, you will. But sitting to my right and my left is for whomever my Father has prepared it for. It is not that way how heaven works, how God works. Now the other 10 react indignantly. They are upset at the audacity of these three people trying to take advantage of the time. But the Lord rebukes them too. You know that the rulers lord over the Gentiles. The great ones make their authority felt. It shall not be so among you. Whoever wishes to be great among you shall be your servant. First among you shall be your slave. And then he gives us the perfect example, the perfect model that we are supposed to follow carefully and faithfully. The Son of Man, that is the Son of God, did not come to be served, but to serve, and to give his life as ransom for many. When we are called into the ministry, we are not called to feel superior to the others. We are called to humble ourselves and become slaves and become servants of all the ones, in order for us to save as many as we can, not because we can save them, but because we become an instrument of God for him to save our brothers. The way that we should act is humbly, but also obediently. That we should not be confused, desiring to be before everyone, to be served by everyone, but that we should serve everyone, that we should be willing to give up our life. When the priest consecrates the holy bread and the sandwich, that is the blood of God, he speaks the words of the Lord in first person and in present. This is my body. This is the cup of my blood, spilled for the redemption of many. It is the present and the personal saying of that we should be configured with the Christ, so that we offered ourselves to our Father in heaven for everyone. Let us, all of us, because we are a nation of priests, a nation limited by baptism and belief in God, not by borders. Let us all pray for our ministers, for our priests, but also for every one of our brothers, that we might be humble and obedient, and also that we might be the means of God for him to save many of our brothers. God bless you all, brothers.